Our next speaker has seen Houston's future, and it's clean and fresh and delicious and user-friendly and sustainable. So please welcome the City of Houston's Director of Sustainability, Laura Spanjian.
Good morning. How are you? I'm so happy to be here today. I'm a Houstonian, fairly new Houstonian. I come from a little West Coast city that you may have heard of before, San Francisco. But we're not here to talk about San Francisco. We're here to talk about Houston as the greenest city in the United States. Now, I know you think I'm crazy, but I may be because I'm pregnant, but I'm not. There are hormones running through me, but that's okay. It's a vision. It's a vision to be the greenest city in the United States, and we need to have a vision about that. Why do we need to have a vision? Well, let's look. This is Houston in 2035. There are 600,000 more people in just the city of Houston, and there are 2.2 million people in the county, in Harris County. That's a lot of people using a lot of air conditioning, driving their cars by themselves to work 20 miles. So we have to figure out how we're going to change this paradigm to be a cutting-edge, forward-looking, sustainable leader in the United States. We also have a lot of greenhouse gas emissions. No surprise by these numbers, right? We all know that lots of people use a lot of energy in buildings because they're using air conditioning. We also know that people drive to work by themselves. That's why our transportation greenhouse gas emissions are so high, higher than most cities in the nation. Most cities are in the high 20s, low 30s. We're in the high 30s. So part of my job is to figure out how to reduce greenhouse gas emissions for the city of Houston so we can be a sustainable city, a sustainable leader in the United States. So obviously I use numbers, and so we're trying to figure out how to reduce building energy usage and how to reduce people driving alone in their cars. So let's talk about those things. The City Hall is a leader in energy efficiency. We're using a contracting process called energy efficiency performance contracting. What we do is we do audits of all of our city buildings. 80 buildings are complete or underway. That's 5 million square feet. And we're doing energy efficiency projects, and we're paying it back through the utility savings. Most of these projects have ROIs under 10 years, some as short as 2 or 3 years. Once we pay back the initial investment with our energy savings, the city's saving money, you taxpayers are saving money. It's a great program, and we want to continue to do it year after year. What's great is that other people are looking to us as a leader. In fact, people in our own city. The Houston Independent School District is actually doing an exact program similar to ours in the schools. And how great is that? Those of you who have kids, you know these schools. There's so much low-hanging fruit. They're old. They're wasting energy. Well, they're going to do energy efficiency work. 24 million square feet of schools and school buildings. And that program is starting right now. So we couldn't be happier with that partnership. LEDs, you heard about them? We're using them in Houston. Almost all of our traffic lights are LED traffic lights. It's amazing. They last 7 years versus the old lights that only lasted 1 year. And of course, the energy savings is huge, upwards of 75% energy savings. We're saving the city $3.6 million a year just by this one project alone. Streetlights, trying to do the same thing with streetlights, changing out all the streetlights to be LEDs. So again, we save money and we save energy. Those are, two mantras that I want you to kind of hear all day. Saving money, saving energy. It's really important. And I think that Houstonians particularly get the saving money perspective when it comes to some of these sustainability initiatives. But we're not just focused on what the city's doing. We're also focused on the residential sector. So we have an amazing program. We got $23 million from the federal government to do an energy efficiency program in low-income residential units. And we are, going like gangbusters. Apartment buildings, single-family homes. We go in, we do an audit, we do all the work, everything for free, and people's energy bills are immediately reduced, and they couldn't be happier. We're also taking it to the next level and building new affordable housing with energy efficient appliances and renewables on their home. This is one of our One of our new homes that we built, we give builders incentives to build energy efficient homes with solar on top. And this family's bill, the average of its bill over this last summer was $75. $75. I don't want to ask what your bill was this last summer, particularly in August. Let's talk about renewables. Texas is the leader in the United States in wind energy. We have over 10,000 megawatts we produce of wind energy. California is the solar leader. We're the wind leader. If Texas were a country, don't get any ideas, we would be the sixth largest wind producer in the world. So why not take advantage of that? The city has taken advantage of it. We are, another fact that people don't realize, Houston is the largest municipal purchaser of renewable energy in the country. Why? Because we buy our wind from wind farms in West Texas. 33% of our energy that powers all of our municipal buildings comes from these wind farms, and we're looking at increasing it to 50% next year. Let's not forget about solar. We don't do as much on solar in this state. We don't have as many incentives. People aren't building solar farms as much as they're building wind farms, but we're doing some small things. We actually have a partnership with the University of Houston. Their School of Architecture has a Green Buildings Components program in it. Very revolutionary. They're building green products for the market, and they built us a solar-powered container office, which you can see right there. It's off the grid. It's for emergency use during hurricanes and other emergencies, but when there isn't an emergency, we're putting them at schools, parks, fire stations, etc., so people can actually use them during the year. It's a great, great invention. Green buildings. The city, we're really trying to be and are considered to be a leader in green buildings. We have a green building resource center that's really state of the art. It's in our new code permitting center at 1002 Washington, which that building alone, that brand new building, is a beautiful new building, LEED Gold, and is using all kinds of sustainability features and techniques and tools in its building to model what can be done. So we're trying to educate not only residents, but also the commercial sector. And this is where we go outside of the city. We say we don't just want to talk about what the city's doing. We want to talk to the private sector and help them. So we launched the Green Office Challenge. It's a informational, educational program. We have 360 participants, half owners and managers of buildings, half tenants, and they engage with us and learn about how they can green their office building and make it more sustainable. But we didn't just stop there. We wanted to also put our money where our mouth is. So we created a first time ever incentive program. It's called our Energy Efficiency Incentive Program. It's a $3 million program. We will provide 20% of a building's energy efficiency project up to $200,000 for a building owner or manager. So we're really trying to be a leader in this. In fact, Mayor Parker was just recognized by the U.S. Conference of Mayors. We won their Climate Protection Award this year for all of our green building and energy efficiency programs that I just talked about. And there were over 130 applicants across the nation. And Houston won that award. That's fantastic. Let me go talk quickly about some of our transportation initiatives. One of my favorites is our electric car initiative. It's our program called Houston Drives Electric. We're doing a ton of things to try to make our city ready for electric vehicles. We're buying electric vehicles into our fleet. That's a picture of one of them, a Nissan Leaf that we just purchased a few months ago. We're building charging stations across Houston. We have public-private partnerships with NRG, who's building 150 charging stations. In fact, someone mentioned HEB. We've got a brand new, beautiful charging station right at the HEB at Buffalo Speedway. We've got another group, Ecotality, building more charging stations. So we're going to be ready. In the next 6 months to a year, there are going to be charging stations everywhere, so you're going to feel confident you can buy a car and charge it up. We have more to do, though. We've got to get charging stations on interstates. We've got to make the batteries last a little bit longer. We've got to help multifamily tenants with the charging stations. So we have more work to do, but we're definitely being seen as a leader. A legacy for the city and the mayor, public transportation. 3 new rail lines are coming into Houston. That's unheard of for most cities, right? We have a 7-mile line right now. We're going to have 35 miles worth of lines in the east, the north, the southeast. This is a fantastic program for the city of Houston to increase our public transportation. Biking, not considered the bike-friendliest city, but we're working on it, trying to get more infrastructure on the streets so you feel safer when you bike to work or to shop or to play. Low impact development. We have an initiative that was passed last year, Rebuild Houston, and we're trying to work through that program, because it's money that's coming in to fix our streets for drainage and flooding. We want to use some green infrastructure techniques, so we don't just continue to build boxes and pipes underground, but use some green infrastructure techniques to help reduce flooding and drainage. This can be done. It's been done successfully in other cities. We can do it in Houston. Let's not just stop there. Let's talk about food access issues and food policy issues. We are really expanding the work we've done. We build vegetable gardens in the middle of downtown Houston, and it's tons of concrete, but we are maintaining and growing vegetables in the middle of downtown Houston. We started a farmers market at City Hall. We had a supermarket summit just a few weeks ago to talk about why do we have more food deserts in Houston than most other cities in the United States? And how can the supermarket industry help us build supermarkets so people have access to local and fresh food? So we're doing a ton of work in this area to increase nutrition and decrease childhood obesity. We have a lot more work to do. We do not want Houston to look like this, right, by 2035. We have more work to do, and that's where I need your help. We want recycling for every Houstonian. We have to get recycling for all of us. We want to have a water conservation program. We want more sidewalks so our kids and you can actually walk. We need a little bit more density. And we need to not be afraid of using words like climate change. These are really important, and if you would join me in this movement to green Houston, I know that by the next 5 years, my vision is short, but we can get there, we will be the green city. People will think of Houston as the green city, and you will be proud and excited to live in this beautiful, green, sustainable city. So thank you for having me. Please follow all the work we do on our social media, and our handle is Green Houston TX. Thank you.
Laura Spanjian.